But shout out to everybody going on. Right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to have to reset Miss J up, get that back going. For some reason, once my camera thing went, it went all crazy. You know how technology works. But what we're going to do in the meantime, we're going to go into this 9-5 video with Tony Bosco and myself. Look out for the official video. Right now, this is just the topic. But check this joint out right now. This joint is fire. And we're going to get back setting up Miss J. So I'll see y'all shortly.
Mellow MJ, CFB. We on one. What up, Spy? Baltimore to Brooklyn. We coming. I'm feeling like one of them, like my body wrapped in gold. Shorty looking like heaven, free, she gon' take my soul. On the corner with the steppers, eyes dark and cold. Some reach out, but I reach down deep for the pole. At the table where I peel some, a milli was the goal, and $1 million not enough now for this grown man. Yacht party conversing with a bad one, she was born in Milan. Ducked so many loopholes, I should be dying in a can. But I'm four-wheeling, in Jamaica fucking up the grass. So many hours consumed and slicing through them grams. Through all this horror, still came out the mud, a great man with a plan. So you know it's a gorilla in the mist. Custom toilet where I piss. When I aim, I don't miss. Now you understand now why Bosco the shit. Y'all niggas fake, malfunctioning with a glitch. That's why I roam around town with a blick and extra clip.
I swear to God, I never spent 1 cent on a rollie. I guess I'm going to hell, that was the broke me. Till then, foreigns will hold me. It ain't foreign, I OD. I'm far from a OZ. Your OG will know me. He probably done owed me. I'll never go broke. Money cheers to the old me. And I'm worth every cent. And I ain't changed, I've been a buck ever since them charges came. But I move like the 49ers and 9-5. I was 15, back in 9-5, sentenced to life. So I live every second sweeping hands of a Prezi. I step out, that's like the intro scenes out of Belly. Retro OGs, fatigue and a jersey. Razor inside of my mouth, don't make me birdie. Or Bishop the whole scene, revolver Jabot jeans. SHU Spud, Bosco CFB.
I'm so quiet in this loud room. I'm so stand up, hard bamboo. Niggas dirty, wash your mouth with shampoo. Every ball spoke out the park, nigga Beirut. No clue, had Curly jamming with that Zazu.
Alley-oop Spud the dunk champ, 45 dumping, 10 boots and 2-5 on him. And we don't play size, that's offense. Even in the office, hoodie on, brandish a Taurus.
The end beef nigga get to the root. I seen him get high off life with a kitchen spoon. I'm in a room full of vultures, they sleep to noon. Bright future, but behind me scenes full of gloom. Loving a new SL, we got a lot of room. Your boo wanna BBD me, get me in her room. Yeah.
Before the A&R desk, there was an AR invest. I sat for 13 till I came out invest. But please don't make me regress. The streets is recess. I'm trying to keep class, so speak less. Bosco in Brooklyn, Baltimore and Bushwick. We haul off and hook 'em, tunnel style, book 'em.
All right. Oh, wait. Yeah, delay sound. What's going on? Let me see if that helps. All right, that helps right there. All right, y'all, I was getting this delay sound. I don't know what that's about. But for those that's just joining on today, shout out to everybody that's come on. Marty, I see you. Itch, I see you. Yo, O, I see you. Shout out to Bills. Shout out to C-Mac. Shout out to everybody. Stay low and earn. Shout out to everybody. Today, we got to sit down. B-Gang, I see you. We got to sit down. Me and Mz.Jackson. A lot of people know the name. They see the parallel and the way we work and the things that we're affiliated with. The show is Mz.Jackson Media Group presents Shoot Radio right now. Shout out to everybody on the app. And if you didn't download that app, download it now. But today we got to sit down. We got a round table. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about the experience. We're going to talk about our experience. And we're going to open the floor for questions. If you got a question, put it in the feed. We also going to open up the lines. That's right, the lines. Now, please, don't just bombard us. But if you do got a question and you want to do a shout out or a statement or something you want to share about your experience or working with either one of us, please call the number right there. That's 917-663-4433. But without further ado, let's bring on Mz.Jackson to the set right now, y'all. Let's do that. Let's make sure Let's unmute Miss J. Okay, she's unmuted, and let's bring Miss J in. What's going on, Miss J? Your mic is, you gotta unmute your mic. Spud, I cannot hear you. Oh, Miss J can't hear me. I don't know why. What's going on with that? Hold on one second. Miss J can't hear me. All right, hold on. I tell y'all, technical difficulties will arise. That's what we're gonna do. Let me see if. You hear me now? I got a double. Something is the lines are not working. Hold on, everybody. I'm so sorry. She has to mute her mic. Nah, it's not her mic. It's my mic. But if I mute my mic, you still hear me, Miss J? You hear me anymore? All right. It's not her mic. But thanks. That's why it's something with the signal between the Rogue. No. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix it, Miss J. I gotta fix it. So do me a favor, Miss J. You log off. I'ma log back on, and we're gonna get a clean start. All right. Cause this is crazy right now. All right, we out of that. We resetting that real quick, y'all. Bear with us real quick. Shout out to everybody jumping on. Again, if you got your questions while I set this up, please get your questions. I know Berg was like, yo, I'm so curious to know how y'all met. What's going on? Like, what's that all about? And so I realize there's a lot of information that people don't know about Miss J and myself. I got 2 logins. I wonder why it got 2 logins. Something is not right. We got a lot. Hold on, I gotta do that over. I'm getting a lot of logins. Sorry, y'all. Please bear with us. And we did a whole tech check. And I do a tech check to prevent stuff like this. But I always say that if something can go wrong with technology, it surely will, right? So we're going to go back into this. Enter stage. All right, I gotta. Miss J, could you hear me? Can you hear me, Miss J? We still haven't. He said live. Let me see some. Hold on a second. This is killing me. Miss J, could you hear me? Still can't hear me. I don't know what's going on, y'all. This is crazy. It's always something like this, but it's on my end for some reason. Right now, I'm gonna go into another video real quick, y'all. Bear with us. We're gonna go into the finally up feed. This is Tony Bosco on the app real quick, and we're gonna go through that. But this is crazy. I don't know why it's doing this. But we gonna get it straight. So check this out, y'all. This is finally up Tony Bosco. I'm gonna work on the technical end and be right back.
You learn, believe it, but take your lessons and put it in motion. Yeah. We're CFB.
Was that noise?
From a place where 6 niggas will carry you. Believe it. And your next door neighbor, he'll bury you. You sleep in your bitch next to you texting niggas. And you dreaming about the day you gon' marry her. I'm a living legend, homie, and I'm my minds. But if you mind minds, nigga, you gon' catch fire. Many nights had to slide through and skirt tires. Brighten your whole block up like a house fire. Ain't my first rodeo, I can tell you lying. And you don't want me to apply pressure, lock pliers. Used to chop it down, distribute it all measures. Plain pants, purple jeans, Versace sweater. I stay together, nigga, every day to prom. And every day I have breath, put 'em for them all. CFB, a crew full of all kings. All big dogs, nigga, no little mates. The early bird get the worm, nigga. Every day I wake up, it's my turn, nigga. Figure out a way to make my whole town bigger. You know how I move around, haters, what I call living. I was always told and taught to dream bigger. And I ain't gonna stop till I reach through the ceiling. Yeah. What a wonderful feeling. I woke up with a wonderful feeling, cause a nigga finally up. I capture street tales through my Cardi lenses. Eating the fish box in my hood on the park bench. Then I dip off slow in that new Benz. Niggas hating on the next, make it make sense. Make your next move better than your last one. And your new chick better than your last one. Pay attention, little one, when the real talking. Cause I was 1 out of 30 in front of the apartments. I was in them projects, getting them off me. And I seen life change, McCartney coffins. Shed puddles of them tears, so many coffins. So I praise every day from my corner office. I'm the brother with the key, no locksmith. Made it to the burbs, hater like Will Smith. Street nigga all my life. On the stoop where I feel right. I get high off life, nigga. The early bird get the worm, nigga. Every day I wake up, it's my turn, nigga. Figure out a way to make my whole town bigger. You know how I move around, haters, what I call living. I was always told and taught to dream bigger. And I ain't gonna stop till I reach through the ceiling. Yeah. What a wonderful feeling. I woke up, what a wonderful feeling, cause a nigga finally up.
All right, we're going to see if that worked. We're going to see if that worked. We're going to see if that worked right there. We got a new... I had to revamp the whole setup, but we're going to see right there. Let's give us a second. And we're going to go from there, y'all. Please bear with us. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But Miss J, see if that won't work for you. If you can hear me, Miss J. But shout out to everybody jumping on. I see everybody coming in hot, looking for it. Yo, love child, I see you. Sin. What's the word, my dude? So we're gonna see right now if this one works. We're gonna see right now. We're gonna see right now. Let's go into this. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Miss J, you hear me? Alright, yes. I think that link it was corrupted. Something was corrupted, but we gonna go into it. Let's stop this. Let's get right now. We're gonna get to work now. We're gonna get to work right now. So Mz.Jackson, let's go right into it. Let's bring Mz.Jackson on set. Miss J, we had a little technical difficulty, but we know how to get past when things ain't working, right? That's what we That's what we do. Shout out to everybody jumping on. We finally got Miss J on. I'm going to put that number up just in case anybody want to call. Leave a comment. Say something. So, Miss J, we just went through Finally Up with Tony Bosco on the Experience. We heard in the last few weeks, everyone kind of give their input about the Experience. Different artists, producers. Let's hear from you directly. What was the whole idea of the Experience that made this come to fruition? Like, what started it all?
I had this concept in my head. As a matter of fact, I called you with the concept. I know you probably thought I was crazy, but I wanted people to feel what I felt as a teenager, to have the experience of going to a live concert, to go see Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers. It was an amazing feeling, an amazing experience, and I feel these days we don't get that experience. We just hear the same type of music over and over. So my idea was to bring an experience to the listener, but not just the listener, to everyone that was on the project. So we chose different artists that may have never been in the studio before. Producers, I think, were accustomed to being beat makers.
That's true.
Um, Everybody was challenged to think outside of the box. So experience is more than just the music. It was that. the action behind the concept for everyone.
Interesting. I didn't think you were crazy. I didn't think you were crazy, but I was like, some of the things you were saying, I was like, this could get crazy. This could get crazy. But I did like the idea. I did believe in the idea. Sometimes I needed to be active to see the vision in motion, because I did feel like, yo, this is too much. Like, it's too much people, or it's too much songs. And you stuck with that idea and concept. And, I eventually saw your vision. Even working with a person like myself, and for the artists that are on, how is it when you have a vision, relaying that and sticking to your goal, or even compromising at times? Like, how was that process for you? Because this was your idea. Then you have an outside person like, nah, I don't know if that's gonna blah blah blah. How did you deal with that?
I'm gonna say experience. The project before this was with an artist that signed to MJMG, Omofola. That was another concept I had with the Afro beats, bringing American artists with an African artist and using different, I don't want to say different genres, but different types of artists. I gonna say I was fought hard by my team. They thought I was crazy. Um, so I got a lot of kickback on the things I wanted to do. And it was hard, had my feelings hurt a lot, but I was passionate about it and I stuck to it. And yeah, I cried sometimes. I got my feelings hurt, but I didn't stop doing what I believed in. And when the project was done, I got a lot of apologies.
That's interesting.
So those apologies validated what was in my head. So this time around, I knew that I had to stick with it. I had to go with my passion. And not everybody believed in it. Not everybody felt the songs. I mean, there's a song on there. I would have liked to taken off the album,
I was
but
like, nah, we keeping that one.
exactly, you said we're keeping it.
we got a we got a question early. Even Muse, that was so beautiful. Even Muse said, Miss Jackson, what was the first song you felt, not heard, that ignited this passion for music? That's an interesting question.
Well, off the album or just in
I
general?
think just in general, like your passion for music, this passion. So I guess in general, what was that first song you heard?
Um, I have a music appreciation, so it's more than the beats and it's more than the lyrics for me. I don't know if too many people recall the movie Fifth Element.
Yeah, I remember for Ella. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Chris Tucker was
there
in that.
was there was a part in there with the diva. She did the opera and then came in with that funkiness. I wanted that. So that is what I had planned in my head, and everything was built from that afterwards. We got that intro similar to that. I couldn't get an opera singer, but Mabu did her thing on that song, and everything else just fell into place.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's a really dope movie. I actually like that movie. I like that movie. It's pretty cool. Earlier today, I got a phone call from Berg, Playboy Berg, and I don't think he's on right now. I don't think he's on right now, but he did ask. He was like, "Yo, I'm so curious to know, like, how the hell y'all meet? Like how it was like, yo, out of nowhere, it was like, yo, y'all was working together. How did you meet?" So I would like to, I would like you to, and I would chime in on my part, but I would like you to spark that conversation of how we met, Miss J.
Well, I was taking a course, Clive Davis Music Essentials through NYU, and in that course, you're privy to a private Facebook page where you get to speak with the other students. I saw a video of you as the ambassador for Clive Davis Music Essentials. Everything that you were saying was resonating with what's in my head. So I thought, man, there's somebody that gets me. I got to get a hold of this guy. So I DM'd you and asked if I can pick your brain, and you said yes. I couldn't believe it. We set a time. It was, I want to say, 3.5 years ago in July.
Yeah, like yeah, going on 4. Yeah, like 4
Yeah,
years.
going on 4. And we had a phone conversation, almost 3 hours. I talked your ear off, and you talked my ear off, and we just been like chit chatting almost 3, 4 times a week and started working together.
Yeah, I remember getting the DM, and I think when I first saw the DM, I was in program and I was speaking. I was like, oh, somebody reached out, and I told somebody, and I went to your page, and they were like, oh, you dubbing that? I said, why? And they was like, look how many people is on the page. And that's how quick, and I'm sharing this for our views, that's how quick people lose out on a possible friendship, relationship, business, whatever it is, looking at those minute stuff rather than having the conversation to see where the people are at so you could build something. Like today we have the platform, we have the app, we have Shoot Radio, you have the Experience album, you did the Afro Beats album, there's so much. I mean, you actually put out a record with Servon from Cash Money. Like, there's so much. You have Tony Bosco. How important was it you in connecting, and how did you maintain connecting with people? 'Cause you connect, and I've watched you do a lot for a lot of people who might not give you the just due. But how do you maintain that?
I'm a nurturer.
No limit. Sorry. I must have said Cash Money. No limit. Sincere corrected me. No limit. No limit. Yes. Serve on from No Limit. Sorry. He loves correcting me. Continue.
I think I'm a nurturer naturally. During COVID, actually, you and Prajan called me when I was in the hospital. They were saying I wasn't going to live. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Right before that, Ed Reed, NFL Hall of Famer Ed Reed, and Reggie Wayne, they had a music crew called 8720. So during COVID, before going to the hospital, there was nothing to do. So, of course, you're scrolling on Instagram, and I heard this guy playing music that I like. So I just started listening and just started bringing people through. Come listen to dope music, inviting people through IG. Next thing you know, I become some type of ambassador to 8720. Um, they started calling me Miss NR, bringing in different artists, and they started spinning the records. Prajan was one of them. Um, just started building the relationships. And then I was pretty active with Ill or Kill out of Atlanta, K100, build a relationship with the radio station owner there, and getting a lot of artists from there. He would refer them to me, and we just chit chat, and it just started growing.
Nice. And you could, the list goes on because you could do 104.5, DJ
Right.
BJ Clark. There's so many different things. I mean, the
The four
producers
DJs on
lounge.
Twitch. Yeah.
There's so many things. Shout out to Daily Grind who was just on. Like, you've networked, you've connect tons of artists and creatives. Is it frustrating, like just in general, sometimes how people don't appreciate that? I know for me it is, but for you, is it frustrating sometimes? And how do you get past that, Miss J?
I got Spud. He got my back.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that. I like that boomerang. I like how you just like woof, 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 throw that back.
Hey, you know how it is. I get frustrated a lot. Spud's not only my mentor, but he's my therapist. Yeah, it's frustrating, especially when you know that you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in building relationships, and other people's platforms are growing, and you can't even get a post. You can't even get a shout out. But that's just the industry.
Yeah, yeah. Going back, I want to reroute it back to the experience real quick going back to the experience and everything that everything that now that's completed, we see it. One was there a moment where you were like, yo, I'm done. I don't want to do it. This is I'm There's too much going on. Was there ever that moment for you?
I don't remember that moment in the experience. I remember that moment more frequently lately, but not so much in the experience. It's something that I was passionate about. There were many times that I wanted to be done with people,
Mm,
but not the project.
not the
But
project.
talking to you and you kind of putting me on the right track and how to see things differently and not take it so personal. It did what it was supposed to do. I don't think there isn't one person involved in that project that doesn't feel proud of what they did.
I agree. I agree. I want to commend you on your vision and painting the picture to everyone and creating something with artists from all over. Like, it was a lot to manage with having artists all over the states, and put together with producers and have this body of work. Salute to you. Like, I had the privilege of executive producing it and mastering the project, which was, I don't want to say challenging, but it had big rewards to that challenge. Like, I enjoyed mastering. I mean, one point I called you during the mastering, like, yo, I really, this person is talented. This song is super dope. Like, I was listening to it from different ears. Do you have a favorite?
I do. I shouldn't, but I do.
It's okay. That's how it is. You shouldn't. You sound like a parent. Like, these are all my kids. I don't have a favorite. You're the favorite one. Like,
Yeah, whoever's on the live, that's my favorite song.
there you go. Shout out to City
But
the Great, that's on. Shout out to J Styles Music. I see some people jumping on. Don Good, what's going on? Salute to y'all. Go ahead, Miss J. Sorry about that.
so basically, if I'm honest, my favorite is the outro.
Oh, dope. Dope.
Um, yeah, the outro was produced by Mella Robinson, but the artist on it is Spud Brooklyn.
Shout out.
It's my favorite because you can feel what music meant to you, and it resonated with everybody that heard it, at least here. And it's the one song that it brings some type of healing when you're feeling like you don't want to do this anymore.
I tell you a secret. I don't think I not even a secret. I tell you a story. Um, I waited to do that till I had all the songs that were gonna make it. And as I listened to all the songs, I mean, I already had my perspective of what music meant to me, but when I finished hearing everything in its place, that was the feel of, how I felt about music as well as the project. In that very moment, I just went in the booth, hit record, and just spoke. Like, I didn't write it. I didn't want it to be perfect. It was just a truthful conversation that I was having with myself at the time, as if I was just had to express myself. So it was the body of work that helped motivate that, as well as my viewpoint of life. And I just let it go. I wanted it to be authentic to the experience, and I did it then.
What was your favorite, or what is your favorite?
That's a good one. I don't think I have a favorite, but I do have a sequence. I do have a sequence. Like I listen to the intro to 808, and then I will bounce to Emeralds down to Feel Good. Then I will go back up and listen to, like, Can't Get Enough to Double Down, and then I will go back to, like, More Than Love and listen out. So I got like a little segment that I play. I don't listen to it from beginning to end. I bounce for like 3 songs, 4 songs. So that's kind of my sequence. I got a favorite sequence.
How do you feel about the project, being executive producer and having meetings, knowing that we have to get cut people and cut songs?
You know, being the executive producer, at first of all, I was saying no. I was saying no,
Right.
and then when I said yes, I said I won't be on the project. And somebody talked me out of it. And I think the viewers could guess who talked me out of not being on the project as an executive producer. But Mz.Jackson did. For me, being executive producer, it wasn't hard doing it. With the multitude of artists and producers, my thing was like getting on the same page and the respect for how serious this could be. That was one of my biggest things, and I know it was yours. And I took it personal. Like I took a lot of things personal when going over the music, because I wanted them to take the opportunity that you was presenting serious. And we always joke and say, like, if this was Sony,
Right.
it would be different. People would be on time, or did we always say
Right.
that? And
Right.
even though we're joking, it's serious, you know. And the sad part about it is like Sony wouldn't give a lot of the opportunities and the chances that like you presented and gave, and that was my hard part of doing it. But there was sometimes, like you said, I was like, oh, I'm about to cut this person. This person is about to be up out of here. Any given Sunday, he out of here. But it was good. It felt good to even get past that. Not even get past that. Go through that and still get the results without it being like, man, we finished the project, but only if this person did this, or only we have none of. There's no like what if, who shouldn't, or whatever. It's just like a complete body, and I love that. I love the project. It's a really dope project, and seeing where it came from, seeing where it started from, the idea, and morph. I mean, we were doing Zoom meetings like it was serious. It was serious. Deadlines. You had deadlines. You was going in. I cracked the joke on one of the shows. I'm like, I'm the executive producer, and you'll hit me like, Spud, how's the record coming? Your record. I'm like, I'm the executive producer. Like, I'm gonna get to the record. But even me, you would be like, yo, what's up with that record? You know, Eve jumped on it yet? Like, she laid down the chorus. Like, what's going on? Give me an update. So, you know, even overall, it wasn't like you had any favorite sides or you dealt with it differently. You went into this in project mode from A to Z, and that's the results right there. We see the results of it.
Do, do you feel there was, I mean, this is kind of a silly question, but do you feel there was any type of growth for you with this project as an executive producer or an artist?
Yes. Before I go on, shout out to John Claiborne that just jumped on. Ghost Carter, shout out to Ghost Carter. Shout out to Delano still. I see people coming on. Tina Marie, shout out to Miss Trish Beats, who's on the project as well, just jumped on. For me, I think it was separating. I listened to it in a few different stages. Like, there was one part that I was in producer mode. Like, before executive producer, I was in producer mode. Like, hearing how the beats sonically sound. If there was levels that needed to be changed, if there was vocals and keys that weren't hit, under our time restraints and capabilities, of course. And that intensified me separating the producer, executive producer, as well as the artist, because then there was a part where I had to write to a song, and then I had to step out of being a producer and write to the song and complement the beat, make sure that was right. Then I had to go back into mix mode. So it helped me a lot, because the separations of who I am and had to be, I had to really go into it like, this is not just, I don't want to half-ass it. It's not my project, so at the same time, I'm trying to sonically capture a vision for someone. But I'm also trying to not just capture the vision, be in the vision and make sure it's authentic to myself, as well as the goal, getting the experience to people. So it most definitely intensified all the aspects of me as a creative. And going through the meetings and things not going well, or certain artists gotta get left off, or some artists are on the talks for the chopping block. Even that was a development for me, because I had to separate, just like, I don't want to say being a good person, but it's like, we gotta get to business. and it all added to who I am and me. So,
So,
uh oh, uh oh, uh oh.
with that being said, being so connected to the project, I think somebody called you soft. Did you feel you became soft being so connected to the project?
Um, yeah, somebody did call me soft, and it was an executive. An executive called me soft, and they called me soft because they felt I gave too much leeway to some of the I'm gonna be transparent. The producers, there was a producer on a project. They felt I was being too lenient with the producer, and they was like, "Man, you soft. We would have been cut that. Like we would have deaded that a long time." And I felt like it was also a learning experience for these producers. They were young. This is their first time going into a project. So I had to have a balance between being business and also kind of like mentoring through the project. I could have did them no good service by just like, yo, you out, you done.
Right.
And they didn't learn anything from it. You know what I'm saying? After this, if you didn't learn nothing from this, then that one's on you. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't feel like I was being soft per se, but I knew I was giving a lot more leeway than I can. If you can hear me, Miss J, your camera just went out. I'm not sure if you can hear me. With that being said, since we had some technical difficulties, we're gonna go into another song. We're gonna go into a song. This song don't really get a lot of play. Miss J, we're gonna go into 808 Blues real quick. I want to give them a little different flavor. You muted.
I'm sorry, my phone was ringing and it threw the camera off.
It's okay. I was gonna go into 808 Blues real quick. Give them a little different flavor of something that they probably didn't normally hear from us. DM the most, so that's my joint. Shout out to Magoo. I see you, Dean Johnson. What's going on, Dean? I'm gonna go into that real quick and then we come right back. If you have your questions for Miss J and myself, please, this is a round table, so please feel free to ask some questions about anything you feel pertaining to us. Oh, we do have a question before we go into that from Book of Orlando. He asked, are you planning on shooting vids for the tracks? If so, what orders? Ooh, what orders? So what's your plans for visuals, Miss J?
Well, the first song is supposed to be Change with Tony Bosco, Black Albert, and Thomas English.
Okay.
We're looking, I believe Bosco said sometime in September. He's flying out to California. We're going to shoot the video in the Bay Area. So that'll probably be the first one.
Okay.
We planned on doing Slide with Thomas English as well. And possibly the song with Black Albert and AC. That's going to be a little tricky, but you as a videographer, I'm sure you can help me figure it out with splicing AC in from New York
Yeah,
and
that's easy.
the West Coast.
Yeah, that's easy. We could shoot and split that. That's dope.
And then you and I haven't spoken about anything else, but I definitely would like to get more of the East Coast vibes shot in New York.
Okay, we can make that happen. See, you spark something. Oh, you spark something. Love Child said major props to the both of you. It's super dope.
We got Willie Wave Productions. He's the one doing our music videos here in the West Coast.
Oh, nice. Shout out to
You
William.
guys follow him.
Mike Paul's on here too, who's a producer. Love Child said this inspired him again, and he said, "I'm glad you letting people hear from you and see you." Shout out to Sincere. Yes, I'm there you go, Sam. Most definitely some good motivation. We're going to go into 808 Blues real quick, and then we're going to come back. If you got some more questions, please feel free to drop some questions. And Ms. J, if you got some questions for me, because I got some questions for you, and we'll be right back, y'all. This is 808 Blues by Paul Stewart. Check it out.
Mike Paul did it.
Shout out to Mike Paul on the production on this one.
From glory, I made my way to the
it. Only the strong survive. You know, I did it. I was given love from my family and the team. They told me to go chase my dreams. The way was hard, it made me sad. The way was hard, and it made me mad. This is my message, this is my blues. If you never quit, then you'll never lose. I came from nothing, descended from glory. I made my way to the top and I wrote my own story. It takes hard work, patience and grit. Only the strong survive. I did it.
We back. Let me say shout out to everybody jumping on SY, the collective. I see y'all. JR School's actually on the project as well, is on here. So shout out to him. Mr. Bard, I see you. Wheezy, I see you. Shout out to everybody jumping on. My man O put a CD. He put a CD. He put a CD. He put a CD. Shout out to O. So Miss J, I got a question for you, Miss J. There was a moment where, you know, you had High Tower Records. Shout out to Titus and them that was on, and then you transitioned from High Tower and you started, you know, going into the MJMG. For those that are out here and they face different transitions in life, what was one of the key elements that kept you going? Because I know it kind of gets, it can get hard. You could get doubtful. What's one of the key elements that kept you going?
I think when something's in you and you're passionate, you can't get away from it. It's probably like an addiction. You got to get that addiction fed. So started out with High Tower Records, Titus, Black Albert, we were business partners, but I think the timing was wrong. We all learn from it.
Yeah.
We love each other. We work with each other. I just think the timing was wrong. But none of us threw in the towel. All of us are doing our own thing.
That's right.
So I think when you're passionate and it's in you, you can't get away from it. As a matter of fact, Titus called me earlier to give me a pep talk because this has been one of those weeks where I question, am I doing the right thing?
Shout out to Titus. He was on too. I'm not sure if he still is, but shout out to Titus.
He just kind of reminded me, a few years ago, we were destined to do this. It doesn't look the way we expect it to look, but it's a journey and it's a matter of time. So
that's right.
I just feel when you're passionate and it's in you, you can't get away from it.
I agree on that. And you said something that's very. He said, "I'm here, guys." Shout out to Titus. You said something that kind of resonates. You said, when you in it and it's in you, it's like an addiction, and you find ways to figure it out or keep doing it, and it's true. It's true. You find that way. You find that way to, even in the hardships, even on the moments where you probably in doubt or feeling the lows, you still do it. You find a way. Whatever. Even if in the moment of finding that way doesn't feel the best, you still do it. You still do it. Nah, man. Shout out. Let's give a round of applause on that. Shout out to Miss J for that. Shout out for Miss J. Miss J, I will say this though. You put in a lot more work than I see some young folks be horse playing Well, putting in the work, man. You be putting in a lot of work, all over.
Man, that's because I have a good therapist.
She said I got a good therapist.
I got a good therapist. When you have a mentor, you know, I do call Spud a lot. Sometimes I'm just whining. Sometimes I want to throw in the towel. He's good about listening and not telling me what to do, but kind of making me answer my own self without telling me what to do. But I think you need to have a good therapist. You got to have somebody in your corner that believes in you and puts those pom poms on for you. There's been situations where I've felt ripped off or discredited or unappreciated, but I know there's certain people that got my back, and that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Titus said something. He said Miss J will knock down doors that most people can't. He said I'm a witness to it, and she's definitely an asset to anyone's team. She is. She is. What I remember earlier on, I told her. I said, shout out to Sincere. We both heard this one time from an executive that you have to have the perfect level of annoyance, right? The perfect level of annoyance. And when he said it, I was like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in a meeting, and he says you gotta have the perfect level of annoyance. And then years later, one day I was just like, Miss J, you have the perfect level of annoyance, yo. You don't quit. You stay at it, but it's like right on the verge of like it's the perfect level. And that's one thing you maximize. Like you're a go-getter. You are a go-getter, most definitely a go-getter. So salute to you on that, and shout out to Titus. That's most definitely true. She's an asset to anyone's team. Speaking of team, how important or unimportant is team for different levels of an artist's career? In your opinion, this is solely how you feel.
I think it's really important. I have uh, I have a team. I've got me, myself, and I.
There you go. That's the first important level of team. I tell people all the time, you gotta have the me, myself, and I team gotta be right. Cause if that team ain't right, I don't care who you add in the equation, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
I say that jokingly, but what you're saying is true, Spud. How important is it for you to have a team? Uh, do you have a team?
So I have a, like you said, and you see, I'm fumbling, right? It's it's not like in a structured team, and what I mean by that is a team. When we hear team, we think of like multiple players, right? You think of multiple, and sometimes a team is 3 people. Sometimes a team is 2 people. Sometimes a team is 4 people. It's not only the team you need; it's the players. Like I could stack my team. I could have. I could if this was basketball, I could have my 2 point guards, a forward, and a center right now. I can, but I can have 3 players. And I can have one point guard running point and shooting guard. I can have a forward who plays small, and I can have a center. Like the important thing for me wasn't just having the team; it was the players. I wanted the players that could bulk the stacks because I know me. I'm playing every position, and I'm gonna play every position until I got burned out. But if I could get an assist and I get somebody who could handle the rock when like, yo, son, I'm on the bench right now, run the ball. That's the importance to me. So I never really looked at the concept of team. It was like how many players I could utilize and how they can utilize the floor that maximizes the goal for us. And I mean, if you wanna shout and you wanna put it in perspective, it's like, for years I did stuff by myself after my situation with Shark, and it was just me and Shark. So I was accustomed to a small net team, and then me and Sincere started putting in work. Then you came through. We was figuring out, piecing things together, making things happen, and then even take Nate. Nate came into the equation with our show. So you find those people with like-minded thoughts, and they add value. And when you add value, then you come part of the team. You know what I'm saying? When you bring something to the table, not just eating from the table, but you bring something to the table, then that maximizes the concept of team. You know, and that's how I look at it with the people that I work with, especially if I work hand in hand with them. You know, Nate says she knows how to get to you for sure.
Nate, don't worry about it. We a
and,
team, Nate.
and shout out to Itch718. He said I'm defense on Spud team. Yeah, he's defense. He is security at the door. He is everything, man. And Booker
And we
O
get him
said
crab for lunch.
he's getting crab for lunch. A whole bunch of crab. Inside joke. Inside joke. Book of O says Spud has an army on the low. Yo, don't blow me up, son. Don't blow me up, son. Don't blow me up. I'm getting my Ross front conversations on right now.
Hey, Spud,
Yeah.
you want to tell everyone how many times we've met?
Yes. I want to tell everybody out there right now. Right now, I'm gonna start the music for this. It's been about 4 years since me and Mz.Jackson been working. We're talking about from music submissions back in 3 years ago when she did a campaign. Somebody was gonna win $50. I threw in an extra $50. We're talking about High Tower Records. We're talking about Omo. We talking about the experience. We talking about Mz.Jackson Media Group. We talking about right now. Shout out to everybody on the app. We talking about Shoe Radar. We talking about Epic TV. We did all this. We did all this from meetings, conversation, consulting, and I met Mz.Jackson as zero. Shout out to Mz.Jackson. Zero. We have never met, everyone. Never met. I'm clapping on that one. Clapping on that. We have never met. And that goes to show you that sometimes it's not in, I guess you could say, immediate need to meet to make something happen. Sometimes we look at distance, we look at where people are, even in their journey. You know, I met her, we met each other, we're in two different places, two different backgrounds, two different journeys in the music industry or entertainment industry, and yet we were able to make something happen. So don't lose the opportunity, y'all, to meet someone that you to meet someone that you never met. To meet someone that you never met and make something happen, because we never met in person. I actually went to California, and the time I was could have met you, you were in the hospital.
Right.
Yeah, you were in a hospital, and I couldn't meet you. But we've never met. We have never met. But we're gonna change that. We're gonna change
You
that.
know, I think the most amazing part about that is the trust, building that trust.
Yeah, you know, and I want to add to that. You know, Titus said the bond between people is most important. It is, and I don't even think it's just building that trust. It's earning and trading the trust.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because sometimes people build trust and it's one-sided. It's one-sided, and when you exchange the trust, you know what I'm saying, and share the trust, add to the trust, is so much going to it. And the consideration is very important, you know, when building. So it takes a lot to, like Titus said, that bond between people is most important. It's building that bond. I don't think people invest enough time in building a bond. They are quick to want to reap the benefits of a relationship, then build the relationship and bring something to it.
I have another question for you, Spud.
Yeah, please. And people, anyone on the feed, please ask your questions while you have us, because I don't know when you're gonna get this again. You know what I'm saying? Mz.Jackson came out. She's like, "Yo, I'm coming out VIP status for today, so y'all might want to get y'all
I,
questions in now."
look, I put my eyelashes on too.
what, what question you got for me?
Um, just a lot of learning lessons along the way of working with each other. When we started doing the artist interviews, it seemed like I was getting a lot of OGs in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it turned out to be a great thing What was your opinion about that?
At first, I was like, don't make it just set for an older demographic. I didn't want people to lose the not only the opportunity we have for exposure, but not get lost into like, oh, it's just gonna be an older crowd. One thing I didn't take in consideration was that how the relationship or the conversations would go. I was just looking strictly at a demographic. And each time we interviewed or sat down, I wouldn't say interview, sat down with someone, it showed that the conversation base didn't have to stay old because the stories behind them could still resonate to any artist or creative to this day. And also that it gave a little bit of experience. And also, a little part of me didn't take our viewers into consideration of how much they could appreciate that. I just looked at the demographic immediately, like, let's not make this an older thing. So even in that moment, I got to gain a growing learning situation to understand, like, okay, yes, it was an older base, but we could still flip that and make it meaningful to not only the conversation and our viewers, but also our guests. Also our guests, you know what I mean? How many times after a show we get a call back like they thanking us. They're thanking us,
Almost
and you know, we're like, yo, thank you for your time, and they're like, no, thank you, man, this was great. You know, they really
right.
appreciate that. And I didn't think of that. I thought of the market, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think of the production of it and what it was meaningful, the market. So that was a learning process. That was a learning situation for me too, not just looking at the market, which is something I really don't do when it comes to like this type of thing. But I did in that moment, and I think I was sick solely in business mode. You know, for me, it's easy for me to just do something like, I don't care if it's one person. But when now we were doing it together, my whole thing was like, I want it to be maximized and successful for you. So I'm already in like consultant business mode. Like, nah, listen, you're gonna stretch the demographic, and I didn't approach it like how I would approach it. So that was a learning thing for me. That was a learning thing for me.
And for me too. I mean, most the people we interviewed, there's been relationships built. Um, Working on a project with Michael Cooper from Confunction.
Mm-hmm.
Working on a song with Glasses Malone and
Yes.
Mr. Servon.
You,
Getting ready to drop a song with Tony Bosco, Mr. Servon, and Mabu.
that's right.
They've all turned out to be working relationships. DJ TKO, getting ready to talk to him about being a DJ for Bosco. Every one of these artist sit downs have turned into relationships.
Yeah.
So I love them. I love Monday nights when we talk to the artists because we know it's going to be more than just an interview.
Yeah, and it helps my conversation. Like, I don't prepare for these shows. I don't sit there and have like my list of questions of where I'm gonna go, and it helps. It keeps me on my toes as well, because not only do I have to sit there and conversate with them, but I'm really listening and gaining in order to have the conversation. And not like I just have a list and I ask it and wait for a response. So even for me as an individual and as a person, I enjoy those shows because of the conversation piece. Like, I could talk creativity with everybody, so it's really dope to show that to the viewers. We do have a question from Third Eye 9, and the question is, what do you think helps build the bond between people that don't know each other? And I could let you answer, and I'll answer my piece.
I'm going to defer that question to Spud.
She got she got her legal matters on right now. I'm defer that to Spud. Here I come. So now, what I think, helps build the bond between people that you don't know is the consideration. The consideration and how you engage their viewpoint. That's very important. A lot of times people engage with each other with just the concept of absorbing something or getting something. So there's even in the midst of it, you might not do this with malice, but when you do that, you solely exclude them from the equation because you're looking at your goal. The biggest thing for me is that consideration, having that consideration for them and why they're there and what that means to you. And I'm gonna say this, and it might sound weird, but using them not is most definitely terrible. Utilizing a person with the appreciation, because it's a feed. You could feed off that. So, and I give this analogy a lot between using and utilizing. It's like a tool. If I have a tool and I just used it and I screwed my thing and then I just dished it away, I used it. But when you utilize it, you put it back in your toolbox and you know it's there and you could come back to it. You have a different appreciation for it. And that's really strong in relationships. Knowing how to utilize it with, on consideration for the person.
Right.
That's very
Yep.
important.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
So John 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 Claiborne got one for you. It's addressed to Miss Jackson. Yes,
Well,
Miss Jackson, no deferring this one. He said, "What gems have you learned with publishing music so far?" Yeah, Miss J.
okay, so I've got to let you all know I have another mentor by the name of John Claiborne.
Shout out to John Claiborne.
He has been teaching me how to do the sync licensing. He is an award winning, what is he, double platinum award winning producer from,
Grammy.
what's her name?
He's a Grammy winner.
Grammy.
Yes, that's. I
What
know.
is,
I know
I
he's
can't
real
remember her
humble
name.
about it. He's real humble about it.
Um, Ariana Grande?
Ariana
I
Grande.
messed that up.
Yeah, Ariana
She went
Grande.
double platinum with the song he produced. He's also on the Killer Mike team. They
But
got
but but
several.
yes.
Yeah, you want me to answer the question? Okay.
You did the nice decorating. You decorated him very well. Shout out to John
Yeah.
Claiborne.
So he has been mentoring me. There's been a couple things that I still need to do. I
Mm-hmm.
have not been focusing as much as I should on that piece of the pie, but contracts very important. We were at a point where I was sending producers and
Oh no, she got a phone call. I bet you she got a phone call. We're gonna wait a second, and we come right back. Let me just change that. Shout out to everybody coming on. I did lose her. Hopefully she come back on. I don't know if the phone disconnected. Maybe battery. But we're gonna take this time to go into another video. If you got, oh, she's back. She's back. I was ready to burn it up. Miss J, you good?
phone call. I'm sorry.
It's
I thought I
okay.
turned it off.
That was my first thought. Phone call and then phone died. That was my lineup. Phone call and phone died.
So basically, John Claiborne is very big on contracts and networking. So he's been teaching me that. One of the things that he did rebuke me on was I was sending producers and artists to him directly. He said I got to be about making my money. That we're not doing that anymore. He sent me the contracts, and the artists, producers I send to him come through me. So that's one thing that he taught me, that he could steal everybody from me if I don't learn how to do this differently.
It's real.
Um, there's a lot of gems that he's taught me. I kind of don't want to share because I want to be stingy, but I will tell you this. Um, it's all about the networking and the research. So we have submitted a couple of my producers and a couple of the artists um, for placement. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has an animation show coming up.
All right, that's enough. That's
So
enough. We're not doing no more. That's it. I gotta,
okay,
I gotta step in. I gotta say
okay,
we going back to legal matters. That's it. We have no,
okay.
no more, no more, no more.
Anyways, there's your jams, John.
There you go.
Did
There
I
you go.
did I do good?
You did great. You did great. You did amazing. You did amazing. We're gonna leave it like that, though. We're gonna leave it like that. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to John Claiborne on that. How important it is in learning from, I don't want to say learning from your mistakes, but the errors in business, how have they been affected to you in your growth?
I'm still growing. I'm still making a lot of errors, but they're key to elevation. If my Mr. Miyagi told me that he was going to let me fall and scrape my knees and get back up. I'm not gonna be able to learn to ride that bike unless I get scraped up a little bit. So I've been getting scraped up, been getting back up. So it's very, very important.
Very important. That's true. I don't. Whoever Mr. Miyagi is, man. Shout out to Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi, that's right.
Shout him
Very
out.
good grasshopper.
Shout, shout out to Mr. Miyagi, man. He left you with some some jewels, wax on, wax off.
There you go.
That's most definitely. Shout out to Unapologetically E that just came on. Amber, I see you. If there's any more questions, please go drop those in. I'm gonna go into another video. Miss J, what video would you like? What song would you like us to play right now? And while we on, if you have any questions for Mz.Jackson or myself pertaining the project, pertaining our business, please feel free to drop it in the comments or even call. But we're gonna go into a video of her selection.
Let's play Pyramids.
What's dope about that? I already had Pyramids queued up, so we on the same page. I was gonna play
Pyramids, yeah.
I was gonna either play Pressure or Pyramids. I had that queued up. All right, here we go. This is Pyramids from the Experience, y'all. Check it out.
Also, nigga, don't be late, cause I ain't ready for the fall. I'm just.
Oh, I started from 11. All right, here we go.
Yo, was that Mellow?
More on the table, really learning how to ball. Goals is enormous, get nightmares about to fall, but God has really got me. Soldiers in the lobby like Rambo just crashed the party. Limelight knocking it. I don't wanna disappoint for moms and my father, for my brothers who've been trifled by the system. Dog, I'm on it. You can trust me fully, love me and boast me. It take a lot to know me, so the verses is to follow me. If this is where it is, then this is all we got. More for Reese and the team, leaving millions in stock for familiar and now shit. Busy laying the cops lurking around where the projects hot shit. Murder on my mind, I don't see another option. That's how we relate, that's how niggas ball. So nigga, don't be late, cause I ain't ready for the fall. I'm just ready for it all, standing tall like them twins near the Bronx shit. Tragedy happening, conspiracy what harming, but I'm glad we got to have it, even if it means we lost it. It's more about the kids spitting shit at the apartment, aspiring to be it, he ain't know it, he had started. The road is long and every step bigger, darker. Hoes come after charter and the dollars really on her. She don't care about the music set, she just want a baller to come through and rip them guts up like a monster. Sometimes I struggle with the V's. Do I go impress or do I wanna find some meaning? Is it how we dress or the things that we believe in? Chains promote the ego, but my girl keep me in. Rapping about a hoe, I ain't content with how I leave it, but trust me, I need this. Trust me, I've seen this. I've been to the mountaintop and tasted all this sweetness. Content never happens, it's just deeper, and I'm reaching of this bag full of tricks. Bad as the bitches make the dick go brick. I'm sick, no fix. I'm him, no shit. In the shoes, so fitting. Get loose with the vision, really tell me how you feeling. Don't lie, don't lie. Says, when it comes to how we moving, sounding like we sitting in the movies. Unwind this and find a new blueprint. Probably the shit that had built the pyramids. Compete with where the mirror is. Dearest ones I'm clearest with, I know that you gon' hear this shit. Know I'm getting near shit, it's almost in my grasp now. Other niggas in the spot will find a way to back down, to divert the pressure, but I want it on my back now. Killer in the trap house, the CEO and maxed out. The Emilio rich type of bitches on my map now. Now they wanna know the reasons niggas started rap now. I can tell the story, but it's better you just watch. It's better I keep talking while these commas never stop. Still a nigga in the coop, but ain't a nigga in the box, I made it. 20 years live, that's a worthy celebration. Thank God, nigga. Between you and I, this saved my life, nigga. Chances. All I know is I ain't doing this at random. Self-acclaimed millionaire by 30 years old. Is a handful of plans, but shit, I'm him. Shit, these hit like better days for all my people in the mix. So it is what it is. Promises I made, I won't dip. Just spin on these tracks till life a little different. Majorly impacted like my niggas in the system. I don't want a handout, you know. Walk for you can sprint or you gon' end up tripping. Whipping foreigns. Shit, I'm slipping in the morning on this all glass flooring. That's another dream, I got my niggas here supporting. Disrespect the movement for the bums that shit alluring. And I can't blame you.
All right, y'all.
Shit, these hit, I'm sick, no fix.
That was Pyramids right there. If y'all haven't heard the album, go check it out. The experience is on every site where you can download or listen, stream music. Check out the experience by MJMG Presents. It's really dope talent that's on there. All arrangements. I say it's a genre list album because it has so much feels and textures. So check that out and let us know what you think. Let you know what you think. So Miss J, he said, let's talk about the president.
I have a question for the president.
Oh, snap. Okay, you got a question. What's the question, Miss J?
So I don't know if everyone's aware, but Mr. Spud Brooklyn is now president of New Oval Entertainment. How's that transition for you, and has it changed the way you do business?
That's a good question. Being a president is most definitely different than A&R and A&R consultant. A&R consultant, I did a lot of business with the creative, so I really fine tuned the creative and then handled the business. As president, it kind of reverses the sequence, so it's a lot more business for a small portion of the creativity because I have to really do operations. I have to really make sure things are going together, brokering situations, looking over paperwork, creating. So it hasn't really changed me, but it intensified business, my business mode, because now a lot of business was per artist. I handled a lot of business per artist, or I did consulting. Like, say for instance, when I did consulting for Pluto TV, it was directly for Pluto TV. I wasn't associated with Pluto TV. I did the consulting, they ran with it, I got paid, I left. With this now, I'm associated with it. So the business structure is not just like do this and I'm gone. It's like do this and I gotta stay on top of it, make sure everything. So it helped me with that. But what did change? And Mz.Jackson got another phone call. Mz.Jackson's calls is on fire right now. Okay, they looking for you, Miss J. Everybody in the world looking for you.
My phone keeps ringing.
They looking for you. Like, where you at? One thing that did change a lot for me was how people responded to me. Like I wake up, I'm in like 200 group text messages. My phone goes off. It's been a lot more. It's been a lot more, and I find myself not getting distant, but I find myself more in a wanting to be more in a creative space than a talking business space, because my day is business. Like in one day, I could have 10 meetings, and throughout the week, it's not like one day it's like free. It's like every day is operation. So every day is business. So that's one thing, and I love it though. I'm not complaining. I love it. I love the way they work. I love how it's working, and I love the growth that I'm getting in it and adding. So it's cool. It's cool, but it's a lot more business than creativity.
So you're doing a lot of juggling because you got your nonprofits.
Yes.
You president of a record label. You also are committed to Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and I hope that you go off the grid at least one day out of the week, family time. There's a lot you're doing.
Yes, there
Uh,
is.
so I guess it's time to look at that team.
Look at that team. The lineup. Miss J with the lineup. That's right. It is. It is. And even in the moments of downtime, like there in reality there's no such thing.
Right,
There's no
right.
such thing as
That's true.
downtime. Like there's no something will be occupied. There's always something to do. Whether my downtime, I trade. I don't want to say I trade. I utilize my downtime to focus on whatever it is for the moment. So if it's like I gotta fix something in the house, I'm gonna fix something in the house. Like I'm dedicating it. It's balancing the workload is important. Balancing it, not just being music business, music business, music business, music business. Sometimes it's like, music business, you on pause. I gotta do this type of business now, or I gotta take care of this, and then I'm occupying my time with that. But there's no days off, there's no time off, there's no real downtime. It's not. It's just business on a different level. Business on the top.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Well, our viewers are going down. My butt hurts.
All
So
right. All right. We're gonna
talk
yeah.
to you later.
We Miss J said I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Before you go, Miss J, before you go, if anybody wanna holler at you, uh and talk some business, I'm not trying to put more on your plate, but if somebody wanna talk to you, what's the best way for them to get to you?
DM through IG.
DM through IG, y'all heard that. And as you know, Miss J, everyone on this show, I asked the same question. I asked this question: if you could go back to the younger you, and the younger you is the person who first starting this media business. That's what I want to go back to. If you could go back to 4 years ago and share something that you have inside of now, what would that be?
Thanks, bud. Can I defer that question to you?
Anything. What would you share with yourself? Or nothing.
What would I share with myself? I would make sure that I stayed a size 6 so that I wouldn't be self conscious on these lives. Um, Honestly, I'd have to go back and tell myself not to give up, not to be discouraged, but to keep on pushing. I've had this passion for well over 30 years, and there was a big space. It took me a long time to fulfill this passion, even though I'm not completely fulfilled, but to get to the point where I'm at now, it took a long time. I think my younger self probably should have never gave up and kept on moving. Um, Especially Mr. Jackson, we're the same mindset when it comes to music. I didn't realize how much until the last 4 years.
Gotcha.
I had that asset.
Gotcha. Shout out to Mr. Jackson. Shout out to Tim Dog. Salute to him. Miss J, I want to thank you for hanging out. I know we touched on a lot. I know you're proud about your project, and I'm proud for you, and I'm proud as myself. So I want to take this moment to commend you on sticking to your dreams, pushing hard, making something happen when some people didn't visualize it, see it, or even believe it. And some people who still don't want to give it a chance, you continue. So I want to give a big shout out to you, Miss J. Keep doing it. We here. Wax on, wax off. We make it.
Right?
We make it happen. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for being a part. And thank you for the experience.
Thank you, Spud. Big shout out to you. Um, you've touched so many people's lives, and you'll probably never really know how many. But trust and believe, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, somebody learns something. So shout out to you. And what would you tell your younger self?
I reason why I asked that question years ago, and I never shared this. Years ago, it was in prison. A brother told me, he was asking me in that moment, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself before all this, what would you say? And at the time, I had this whole spell. And right now, Miss J, right now, if I could go back in time and look at myself, I'm gonna walk right past me. I'm gonna walk
Really?
right past me. I'm gonna let his ass trip, bump his head, and do all that, because what I learned now from all those mistakes, Miss J, I am not trading them shits for nothing. What
Right.
what I
I get
value in
that.
life right now, I would look at me and just smile like, you go, you gonna learn, you gonna learn, you are going to learn. But I would walk past me. I would smile, but I would walk past me, man, because I would be fearful that I would share something so insightful that I would miss that moment to trip and scuff my knee and
Right.
learn what that felt like. I can say that now, but when I first was asked that, I had a whole list of things. I had a whole list of things that I would have said. But right now, this day, I will walk past myself, Ms. J.
I get that.
I would.
Well,
All right, Ms. J. Thank you again. We're about to close this out with another joint. I just want to send you away with
got
some
to be
more.
the outro.
The
Sorry.
outro. Okay, Ms. J said
Yep.
the outro. We're gonna go with the outro. Thank you again, Ms. J. You have a great night. And next Monday, tune in 9:30. Tune in on Wednesdays, 9:30. Check us out. Check Sundays. Sundays, we've been slacking on Sundays for Dungeon Talk, but check us out on Sundays when we on as well. But shout out, Mz.Jackson. You have a beautiful night. Speak to you in a little bit.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. All right, y'all. That was a dope sit down. We got to chop it up with Miss J. I know for a while she wasn't too certain about going on live. That's not her thing. She likes to play the back and make a lot of things happen. But I think having that conversation in person or giving people that expression gives a little bit of motivation. So shout out to her for most definitely do that. And shout out to everybody that's on. I know it'll be long. I know y'all got things to do. Life keeps lifing. And y'all still spend that time with me. So, shout out. Yo, B Diamond, what's going on? Shout out to everybody. And I hope you got your questions that you felt. Hope you didn't hold back. Hope this was a time to ask any good questions you had. But before we go, I just want to say one last thing before we go into this outro. And Mz.Jackson said this is her favorite, the outro. Keep creative, y'all. I'm going to say this. Even like a person like Mz.Jackson, who at times she says, my age, man, I feel like I'm too old and people don't get me. Even at this stage of her life, she keeps going. So there's no excuses. You could keep on going and you can make things happen. And if my story ain't true and her story, if my story ain't helped to show that it's possible with Mz.Jackson, I don't really know what else to do. But this is called the outro. This is the experience. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. This is a really dope record, really dope project. I'm from Brooklyn. This is Mz.Jackson Media Group. Mondays presents Shoe Radio. Shout out to y'all, man. Be well, be safe, keep creative.
This is the outro. I want to thank everybody for taking this journey with us.
Shoe Studio, we get busy.
This wasn't just a vibe. This wasn't just words. We were taking you through an experience. You see, music is more than just rhythm and harmony. It's life. And if you don't live through your music, if you don't feel through your music, you ain't experiencing it. You ain't living it. You ain't feeling or feeding it. You see, music is the pulse to us. It's that drum in our chest, that heartbeat. It's that bounce, that harmony in our minds. It's the whistle and hums to words we don't know. It's the footsteps we take through the hard times. It's how we lay ourselves to sleep. Music is everything. And we gave you everything today in this experience. So when you listening to the songs, attach yourself to what makes sense. Attach yourself to what you feel and let it take you through that experience. I had the pleasure of sitting here, going through all the songs, all the producers, all the artists, and soaking in what it means to me. You see, music to me is everything. It's life. It's how I live and breathe. It's how I move and see. That's music.